Welcome back to the channel. This is S.O.G, and in today's video, we're taking a look at the new release of the Shield X Carry Comp. Now, this was not sent out to me by Smith & Wesson. I went out and purchased this, and I actually feel like I overpaid for this, to be completely honest with you guys. Now, I paid $650 for this. Now, that is ridiculous compared to the $500 or sub $500 mark that the non-ported or non-comp version is selling at. So $650 for this is just crazy. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad choice of firearm because it is a nice piece, but 650 is too much. And we're going to get into some of the things I like, some of the things I disliked about this because we just got back from the range and testing it out. But before we continue this video, let me start off by saying that we are working in a completely safe environment. We are not working with any live ammunition. There isn't any ammo anywhere near us or in these firearms that we're going to be taking a look at today. And all of this is for educational purposes only. Now, all of the changes they made from this carry comp, from the non-carry comp, is going to be up on top. Now, as you guys can see, they added some slide window cuts there. They actually also changed the slide serrations for the front and the rear. The optic cut is the same. The sights are going to be the same. And obviously, they put a port up on front. It is a smaller port than what I would have liked to see them do. And they put the port just right behind the front sight, which is good because you don't get any of those gases into that front sight to obstruct your view. I also like the fact that they stopped the rifling on the fluted barrel just before that port. So good attention to detail there by Smith & Wesson on that. And we will get into how this performed at the range in just a bit. But we're going to take a look and see how it compares in terms of size. Some of the other popular carry guns out there. I know you guys are curious about that. So here is the original Shield Plus, just a little bit longer in terms of the length. And when we talk about the height, now I always carry mine with 13 rounds. So to me, the fact that they extended that frame is not a big deal. So exact same size as the Shield Plus with 13 rounds. We also have the 43X here in front of us. And here is what that looks like. So slightly longer than the 43X as well. And as far as the height goes, you have 13 rounds in the Shield Plus on the left, 10 on the 43X on the right. And obviously, the Shield X is just slightly shorter with 3 extra rounds. Going into the Hellcat Pro Comp here, this is probably going to be the most comparable in terms of size. But take a look at that. Slide length is just about the same. And as far as height goes, they are, again, just about the same. Now, the only difference here is going to be that the Hellcat Pro Comp has 15 rounds versus 13 for the Shield X. We also have the Canik MC9 Prime. Now take a look at that. The Prime is a little bit longer just by a hair, and obviously in terms of the height, I think the Prime is going to be significantly taller just because it has 17 rounds versus the 13 rounds. However, if you put the 15 round mag in the Shield X, it is just about the same size as the Prime. Otherwise, it's going to be slightly shorter if you like to run it with the 13 round mag. So going into some of the pluses on this, is it worth getting? Is it worth upgrading? If you have this Shield X, the original one that just came out not too long ago, I would say it's not worth taking a loss on your money or even buying a second one with the comps in there. The differences are not that massive, and I feel like these manufacturers out there kind of keep getting us in this loophole of let's release a model, put some holes in it a couple months later, and make more money off of these people. And honestly, this is probably going to be the last ported or comp handgun that I purchase just because of that. It's hard to keep up with the market when all they're doing is adding holes in there instead of actually making substantial differences. Now, the differences between this and the original Shield Plus are pretty good. So if you have the Shield Plus, this could be a good alternative for you. However, in terms of how they perform, I didn't notice a huge difference. If you're looking for something that's going to blow the Shield Plus's performance out of the water, this is not it. And I'm sorry to say, it's a good alternative. It's a good addition, but it's not something where you're going to say this is so much better than the Shield Plus in terms of an EDC. It's a good alternative. And that's if you like to carry with ports or comps. Now, going back to how this performed, I really did enjoy it. My first couple of shots, I'm not going to lie, were buns. It was pretty rough recoil to the point to that this this beaver tail was kind of going up into my hand and pushing down on my hand. I didn't obviously bruise or anything like that, but I did have a little bit of a red mark there. I'm not complaining about that hurting. I'm just, letting you know that that's kind of what that recoil kind of feels like, but it is manageable. It's not terrible. It is definitely manageable, and with enough practice, practice makes perfect. Not comps, not ports. If you want to be a good shooter, go out and practice, and don't start getting all of these extra additions to try to make you a good shooter, right? But going back to this, it's a really nice piece. I just think that the price point is extremely high for the little amount of upgrades they did in comparison to the original Shield X without the ports or comps. But let's take a look at this trigger. Like I said, completely safe work environment we are in. It's got not too much of a take up. It's got a firm wall. You don't get any mush. It's just a clean break, which is really nice, and a very tactical reset. So a very nice trigger. As we know, Shield Plus usually gives us pretty decent triggers. One other thing to note on this Shield X or Shield X carry comp is that if you're looking to add some accessories to it, it's a good platform to do it on, because you don't have some of the stuff from here that are on your Shield Plus. Now the optic cut is completely new on the Shield X, and I love it because not only can you put RMSC footprint dots on here, but you can now mount Hollow Suns as a direct mount with no adapter plates needed. So you can now put, whether it's your EPS carry on there, you can add a Siley Cat EDG, you can add your Osight SE on there, and so on and so forth. All direct mounted. You don't need an adapter plate. And you can also put some lights on here now. However, just keep in mind that this gun is 0.9 inches in terms of how wide it is. So if you're going to put something on there, like let's say a TLR7 sub, well, guess what? The TLR7 sub is 1.16 inches in terms of the width. So when you buy a holster for your setup like this, the holster is going to be wider than what it should be just because of that light, because obviously it's got to fit the light in there. So that might make it a little bit more bulkier than what you thought of when you are going to decide to EDC this with your holster. So keep that in mind. If you want to keep it slim, keep it without the light. But if you feel like it's too slim or you want to fix that up a little bit when you're carrying, definitely a good option to add a light, and especially if that's your cup of tea. So just a couple of things to keep in mind. Otherwise, this has been very, very reliable. It ate everything we put in there. We ran maybe about 200 rounds through it on the first get-go. And like I said, first few shots took me a little bit to get used to it. But once I got used to it, very accurate, very reliable. We ran FMJs and we ran hollow points. So really, really reliable and fun. But I don't know if 650 is worth it. That's going to be totally up to you, especially if you already have the non-ported version, or if you're looking to upgrade from your original Shield Plus. And that'll wrap it up for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button on the way out. Drop a comment in terms of what you think of the Shield X carry comp. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But if you already have, I appreciate you guys so much. God bless you, and I'll see you on the next video.